Welcome to CareStream Dental Online Learning. This training recording will demonstrate how to use clinical notes within a R4 practice management system. By the end of this recording, you should understand completing clinical notes, including recording clinical notes, inserting a template, and creating new templates. Recording clinical notes. Within the patient's clinical chart, on the right-hand side, is all your patient's clinical notes. As you scroll down, you'll be able to see previous visits. At the top of the window, there is a search box allowing you to search the entire history of the patient's record. Type in anything you wish to search for, and the details will be instantly displayed on the right-hand side. If you need to filter between the details, there is the option for all, which will display everything inside a patient's clinical notes. Treatment, which will reduce it to only treatment that has been performed. And notes, which will reduce it to any written notes for this patient. To record new notes, under today's date, double-click. The cursor will then flash under today's details, and you can begin typing. Once you've finished entering the notes, click Elsewhere on the window. The notes are automatically saved when you leave the patient's record. While modifying notes on today's date, previous notes all become grayed out. To view previous notes, click on the pencil icon. This takes you in and out of edit mode. When out of edit mode, view old notes, and use the filters. Alternatively, click on the pencil again, and the cursor will flash, indicating you can enter new notes. At the end of the day, at 12 o'clock midnight, the notes are automatically locked down. However, it is possible to lock your notes at any time, by clicking on the padlock icon. This prevents those notes from being altered. It is possible to unlock the notes. If you click on the padlock again, you'll then see it creates an additional copy of the notes. The previous notes are still recorded with their previous details, but by unlocking the notes, R4 allows you to go in, make any changes that are required, and add additional notes. Be aware, R4 will give the notes a new date with when they were edited. Inserting a template. To insert a template into the patient's clinical notes, click on the Insert button. Open the category where your template is stored. Then double-click on the template that you wish to use. The template is displayed inside your patient's clinical notes. Update the details as required. The template you see is a question and answer template. Click inside the answer box to fill out the patient's answer. These answer boxes remember any previous answers that have been entered into these boxes, as is demonstrated here. Having entered details into the top box, when returning to use this for the next patient and clicking on the box, you are presented with the answer previously used. This could mean that boxes become filled up with lots of answers that may have only been used a single time on one patient's record. There is the option to edit this list. Use the bin icon to get rid of the answer fully, or the pencil icon to modify that answer. Please note, this modifies the template and does not change any patient records where this answer has been used. If there are answers that you don't wish to use, left-click and drag to highlight answers, and then press on the Delete key on your keyboard to remove those answers. While the cursor is flashing, go between templates and write more information as you need to. Creating new templates. To create a brand new template on the R4 system, click on the Manage icon, next to the Insert button. The Template Manager is displayed. On the left-hand side, open up the category where you would like to store your template in the white box, enter the name of your template. Any templates that are created appear for everybody at the practice that has access to the clinical chart, so it is recommended best practice that you add your initials, followed by the name of the template, to make it easier to find in future. In this example, make an examination template. Add your initials followed by the name exam, then click the plus icon to the right of that, to create a new template. Here two options are displayed. Do you want to create a Q&A template? Or would you prefer to create a narrative template? Begin with a Q&A template, which is similar to the template you saw earlier, with the questions and those answer boxes. The middle area is the template we are creating. At the top of the window is the option for New Target, where we can put in a question and answer box. Here I'm going to put a simple question of checked medical history. Next to that, click in the answer box and begin filling out the answer. As an answer is filled out, press the Enter key on the keyboard to save that answer. Fill out all the answers that are required. Once you are finished with that question, go to New Target and add in a new question. There is no limit to the length of a template. Once you're happy with the template, click Save. That was a Q&A template. Now we'll look at creating a narrative template. On the left-hand side, beneath the category name where I'd like my template to go, enter the initials followed by the name of the template, and click the plus icon. This time, instead of Q&A, use the option for narrative template. When you create a narrative template, instead of having the question and answer boxes in a very rigid format, this template type allows you to add in a block of text. I'll demonstrate this with a very short template. I've got medical history checked, but I don't need a yes/no box, because I'm not going to be saying no, I didn't check my history, so I'll leave that just as a statement. I've then got patient complains of, but for that, I also don't want a box where there will be lots of different options, because that could be something unique for a patient. Again, I'm just adding some text. And what's nice about these narrative templates is that when I come to use it on a real patient's record, I can then modify, next to these answers. Perhaps I've got to an area now, though, where I would need a box, not an option that I can select when filling out the template. Click New Target. R4 adds a smart box, which can actually within sentences. Fill out the rest of the options, then add the answers for the patient. Once completed, click Save to save that template. If you make a template you believe to be really good and you'd like it to appear every time you complete a course of treatment, on the right-hand side, click Assign to Codes. Highlight the treatment code. Whenever that treatment code is then completed, R4 will automatically record this clinical note into the template. To deselect the code, left-click on it again, and that deselects the template. Remember to save any changes that have been created. Now that that template has been created, insert it by clicking the Insert button, typing in the name of the template you require, and double-clicking on the template. The template appears on the right-hand side for you to continue modifying, next to any details. You should now understand completing clinical notes, including recording clinical notes, inserting a template, and creating new templates. Thank you.